Hello, and let me introduce myself. My name is Sandra, and my case topic today is Costco. Background story for Costco. Costco is one of the largest retail sales companies in the United States. 500 stores in 37 states and 8 countries. They have one of the lowest profit margins in retail and are more profitable than their competitors. They are rapidly growing, and they have the highest ratings in years on customer satisfaction surveys. So why is Costco so successful? I found this quote from James Sinegal. He's the current, he was the CEO at the time that the class project was written. Our attitude is that if you hire good people and pay them a fair wage, then good things will happen for your company. And this is something that not only he had employed, but that future CEOs have also continued. So with regards to efficiency, adaptation, human capital, and leadership, the question that we have presented to us or posed to us was, specifically, explain the success at Costco in terms of efficiency, adaptation, and human capital and leadership. As far as efficiency goes, they take a no-frills and standardized design facility. It's the warehouse environment. We've seen them. I'm sure most of us have been into a Costco. Their displays are minimized. They have pallets on the floors. All the stock is in one. It's a one-stop shop. You don't have to go to a back room. You don't have to have extra. They do not use advertising and do not need marketing. That's going to lower their overhead. They rely on customer word of mouth. The CEO leads by example with a minimalist office space. His salary is, while obviously more than his staff, it's not so much more. It's usually about double what his highest paying manager is. And they've computerized their inventory system for maximum efficiency. This allows them to know what they have on hand and where they have it located. Adaptation. A completive strategy in price leadership. They keep prices low, and they do it by keeping it lower than their competitors. It makes you want to go there. You're going to get the same thing, but it's going to be at a lower price. They have temporary special bargains that create that customer excitement. It can attract a more affluent buyer and increase impulse purchases. In many ways, retail relies on those impulse purchases. The memberships for the privilege of shopping at Costco are higher than the competitors, but they do have an 86% renewal rate. As far as human capital, they're one of those companies that genuinely treats their staff well. They definitely live by that quote. If you treat your people well, they will treat your customers well. The company policy has generous pay, health benefits, a good 401k, lower contributions by the employee. Company policy promotes from within the ranks, and workers at all levels have good opportunities for advancement. Knowing if you get hired in as an entry-level employee, knowing you're not going to be passed over for someone else, but what you know is going to be honored and respected and you're going to be promoted, that's definitely something that an employee coming in is looking for. CEO regularly meets with managers and visits his stores regularly. He remembers the names of most of his managers, and he is accessible. Employees are trained in customer service. As a customer service manager, we would think that this is intuitive, but you do have to invest in your employees to teach them good customer service. That gives them the confidence to go forward and speak with the clients that come into your store on a regular basis. Employees are encouraged to suggest ways to improve the store and product mix, and daily meetings to discuss the ways to be more efficient and provide better customer service. Explain how Costco can provide higher compensation to its employees and still be successful in the use of the low-price competitive strategy. The savings from lower turnover costs, lower employee theft, and higher employee productivity more than offset the higher cost of compensation at Costco. The strategy requires good execution by store managers, employees, and their skill and dedication. Employees who are valued won't leave. We've said it where I work. I've heard it before. Employees do not quit jobs. They quit managers. If you treat them well, they will not leave. in an earlier class I had heard that it costs about $10,000 in both money and man hours, and that's the loss you experience if an employee quits. And if you think about, can I save that $10,000 and invest it into my employee, that's already a winning situation. Lower employee theft. In my own neighborhood, we lost a grocery store simply because of employee theft. Employees who are proud of where they work, who are respected, they will treat their employer, they will treat their place of employment as if it's their own. They feel that they have been made part of the whole, and so they want to protect the whole. And obviously that leads into higher productivity. Analyze the behavior of the CEO and describe his influence on the company. Jim Senegal was the CEO at the time of the writing of this category. Craig Jelinek is now the CEO, but he continues the tradition set forth by Jim. His humility is evident in the lack of special privileges, his simple dress with a name tag, low compensation relative to other companies and to the store managers. It is an example of servant leadership and provides a symbolic example of commitment to the company. Clear vision, concern for employees, and encouragement of innovation are all examples of transformational leadership by Senegal. However, he avoids impression management tactics that would enhance attribution of exceptional expertise, and there is no indication he is viewed as charismatic. He identified an effective strategy and a mix of management programs and practices that is compatible with it. He adapts his behavior to the changing conditions as competition changes. Increased competition from Walmart and Sam's. I think the last category is probably one of the most important. Having someone who is not so set in their ways and in their management style, but who is willing to not just adapt, but meet the challenges where they stand so that they can shift fluidly, allows them to be more competitive. But what it also does is it teaches from the top down that there's nothing to be afraid of with change. And instead of looking at it as change, which tends to be a word that's thrown around as something to be worried about, it's reframed as a new evolution. We are evolving into a new company. We're evolving into a new direction. We're reframing how we look at things. And so he's taken that and he's showing that from the top, and he's moving it all the way down so that his management can see it, they can embrace it, then they can move it down to the next person. And so the employees underneath them start to look as change as a good thing. Finally, one more quote from Mr. Senegal, and that is, "You destroy the initiative of the working people if they don't feel they have a fighting chance to be a part of the American dream." I pulled this quote and I put it at the end because when I looked at what Costco does in reference to their human capital, how they adapt, how efficient they are, how they become more competitive, how the CEO moves, each and every one of these pieces seems like a different piece of the whole, but each and every one of them centers around a person, and then that person branches out to be the people. And when people go to work, they want to believe that they are not just getting up and going someplace to get a paycheck. They want to feel valued. And since this company and the CEO believes that he is part of the process to make the American dream happen, employees that are promoted from within, that's a perfect example of them. They have staff that want to stay because being valued in your place of employment goes so much farther than any other monetary compensation, although people don't just go to work to not be paid. It makes being there a much more pleasant experience. So I hope I have answered all of the questions effectively and efficiently. I appreciate having this opportunity to present. Please, if you have any additional questions, don't hesitate to reach out to me. Thank you very much.